ladies and gentlemen. And I want to share something real tonight, something that hits the soul deeper than noise ever could. See, there comes a time in life when people expect you to break, to explode, to fall apart in front of them. They wait for the show. They feed off your reaction. But when you give them peace instead of anger, that hurts them more than any word you could ever say. He shows growth and self-control, which can't be manipulated. See, when you get to that place where you don't react the way you used to, that's when people start getting uncomfortable, not because you're doing anything wrong, but because they can't push your buttons no more. You ever had somebody come at you with some nonsense, trying to get a rise out of you, and you just look at them, calm, cool, collected? That's when they know they've lost control. See, peace is dangerous to people who are used to controlling you through chaos. When you don't engage in the same mess anymore, they don't know what to do with that. You used to argue back. You used to go off. You used to cry, plead, beg, break down. But now, you sit back quiet. That silence, it's loud in their world. It echoes. Because now they can't manipulate you like they used to. You grew. You stopped needing validation from people who never clapped for you anyway. They wanted your fire, not your peace. They were comfortable when they could stir your spirit. But peace, real peace, it's not passive. It's powerful. It says, I know who I am now. It says, I don't need to perform for you no more. And that kind of self-control, that maturity will mess a manipulator up every single time because they don't know how to function when you're no longer dancing to their drama. Your peace is your boundary. It's your healing. It's the evidence that you've outgrown the games. So when you show up with that quiet confidence, that stillness in your soul, they feel it. They may not say it, but they feel it. And trust me, it hurts more than your anger ever did. Anger is expected and easier to provoke. Peace is unpredictable. That's what throws people off. See, when you get mad, when you blow up, they know exactly what to do with that. They've seen that before. They know how to argue with you, how to twist your words, how to flip the script and make you look like the problem. Anger is familiar to them. It fits their plan. They push your buttons and boom, you explode. Then they sit back, play the victim and say, see, this is what I'm talking about. That's how they trap you. That's how they keep the cycle going. But peace? Oh, peace is something else entirely. They don't know what to do when you don't take the bait, when you don't raise your voice, when you don't reply to that text, when you don't show up to the drama. That silence, that stillness, it makes them nervous. Because now they can't control the story. Now they don't know where your mind is, what your next move is, or even if they still matter to you. That's where peace becomes powerful because it leaves them wondering. Let me tell you something. People fear what they don't understand. Your peace makes them question their hold on you. They thought they knew you. They thought you'd always react a certain way. But now you've flipped the script. You've matured. And that calm, that quiet, that unbothered presence, it speaks louder than any argument ever could. Because now you're showing them you're not the same person they used to break. Peace is unpredictable because it's not about them anymore. It's about you choosing yourself, your sanity, your growth. And that kind of peace, It's the kind that can't be shaken, can't be explained, and definitely can't be controlled. A calm spirit reveals maturity, which can make others feel small. See, when you start walking different, talking different, reacting different, that's when people around you start noticing, and not always in a good way. It's not that you're trying to act better than anybody else. It's that you've grown, you've been through the fire, and you came out refined. But here's the thing, your growth starts shining a light on their lack of growth. Your calm starts exposing their chaos. Your discipline starts making their drama look childish. And that's when things get real uncomfortable. You ever been in a room full of people who used to know the old you? The version of you that used to snap back quick, jump in every argument, fight every battle, and now you're just sitting there, observing, choosing peace, not reacting to every little thing. Suddenly the room feels different, not because you changed the energy, but because your presence is calling people out without saying a word. That's the power of maturity. It doesn't brag, it doesn't shout, it just walks in and shifts the atmosphere. People who haven't done their own healing will get offended by yours. They'll start throwing jabs, talking slick, trying to pull you back into the old ways. But when you've grown, when your spirit is calm and your focus is clear, you don't even flinch. You hear it, but you don't respond. You feel it, but you don't absorb it. That's growth. And for folks still stuck in dysfunction, that kind of strength feels like a threat. Your calmness reminds them of everything they haven't dealt with. Your peace becomes their mirror. And that mirror don't lie. So it ain't that you making them feel small. It's that your elevation makes their excuses too hard to ignore. People who lost access to you expect drama. Silence scares them. See, when folks no longer have the same seat at your table, they don't just miss your presence. They miss the power they used to have over your peace. They're used to the version of you that would react, argue, cry, call back, explain, defend. And when you go quiet, when you stop chasing, when you stop feeding that connection with your energy, that silence becomes louder than any shouting match you ever had. They expect drama because drama meant attention. Drama meant access. If they could keep you emotionally involved, they still had a way in. They could poke you, provoke you, and still get a response. But silence? Silence means the door is closed and locked. Silence means healing, and that scares people who are comfortable controlling your emotions. You ever notice how somebody will try harder to get a rise out of you after you've let them go? It's not because they love you, it's because your peace reminds them they've lost the ability to reach you. They say you've changed. No, you've just stopped entertaining what drains you. They say, you acting brand new? No, you just finally realized your worth doesn't come with an explanation. That silence, that's your boundary. That's your healing in full effect. And now they got to sit with the echo of their own actions with no reaction from you to distract them from the truth. They were never ready for you to get quiet, because quiet means done. Quiet means peace. And peace is permanent when it comes from growth. So when you don't show up to the argument, when you don't explain yourself, when you don't fight to be understood anymore, that silence becomes the loudest message they'll ever hear. Peace forces reflection. It puts the mirror on them, not you. See, when you stop showing up to the argument, stop defending yourself, stop going back and forth. It gets quiet. And that quiet is where truth starts to echo. Most folks who cause pain don't want to deal with their part in it. As long as you're loud, angry, or broken, they can focus on your reaction and avoid their own behavior. But when you respond with peace, now the mirror turns around. Now they're left sitting with themselves, no distractions, no defense. Peace ain't just about staying calm. It's a challenge, a mirror, a truth teller. It says, I'm no longer reacting to your mess because I've outgrown it. That's when the guilt creeps in. That's when they start questioning what they did, because when you used to explode, they could point fingers. But when you choose silence, when you choose calm, it removes all the noise and leaves only the facts. That's uncomfortable for people who are never ready to be accountable. That's why your peace hurts more than your anger ever could. It tells them, I see you clearly now. It tells them, I no longer need closure from you. I found it in myself. And that's heavy, because now they have to look at themselves without your reaction to hide behind. And a lot of people can't handle that kind of truth. They rather you yell, cry, curse them out, anything to keep from facing their reflection. But your peace demands they deal with themselves. It forces honesty in a way anger never could. Because peace doesn't give them a villain. Peace shows them the mirror, and once they see it, they can't unsee it. That's when the real discomfort begins. And that's why your peace is more powerful than any storm you could bring. Every cloud has a silver lining. Peace is the proof you made it through. Life has a way of throwing storms at you, betrayals, heartbreak, setbacks, people you trusted turning their back on you. And when you're in it, it feels like you'll never see the sun again. You cry, you pray, you lose sleep, trying to make sense of the chaos. But the thing about storms is they don't last forever. Eventually the rain stops, the thunder dies down. And if you pay attention, if you keep walking, you'll find that silver lining. And that lining, that's your peace. Peace is the sign that you didn't just survive the storm, you grew through it. You didn't let it break you. You didn't let it turn you cold or bitter. You didn't lose yourself in the fight. That peace you're carrying now, that calm in your spirit, that strength behind your silence, that's your reward. That's what shows the storm didn't win. Because anybody can come out of pain angry, but it takes strength to come out of it healed and whole. Your peace is a message to every cloud that tried to cover your light. It says, I'm still here. It says, what tried to destroy me only delivered me to a better version of myself. That's what the silver lining is all about. It ain't just about relief. It's about revelation. It's about realizing that everything you went through was shaping you, not shattering you. And the folks who brought the storm, they were never ready to see you shine on the other side. They thought you'd stay broken. They thought you'd stay angry. But now here you are, not just surviving, but walking in peace. That's the silver lining. That's the proof you made it out stronger than they ever expected and more grounded than you've ever been.